soybean seed, and they loaded it exactly how I wanted it loaded. Awesome. A while back, actually not too long ago, we were down in Austin, Indiana, and we had this issue, and I think it was with this exact same trailer. The door acting like it's just hitting a brick wall. It's the one with the really shiny hiney and the ugly sticker. There's nothing catching it. We're on level ground, there's nothing catching it. When in doubt, hammer it out. Door closed. Supposed to get my back stretches in. What better way of getting back stretches in than putting on probably one of the nicest windshield wipers I've ever put on my truck before. I'll have to get back to you guys and let you know. I got that from one of you subscribers a while back. I don't know who to thank though, because it came through Amazon. Thank you though, I'm gonna say thank you. It's probably one of the nicest windshield wipers I've ever put on this truck. We'll see how it works out when it snows and rains ice. I think the wiper is going to work quite delightful. We are letting the engine warm back up in the air system, make sure everything is proper and ready to hit the road. We are loaded up with 42,000 pounds, or just a shy under. I love, absolutely love, when I get the opportunity to load on a scale versus not load on a scale. I mean, you don't load on the scale, but you get to scale in and scale out. And when I scaled in, this load was actually supposed to be 45,350 pounds. And when I scaled in, I went in there and he goes, "Are you going to be okay hauling that much weight? I see you're weighing in at, what was it, 36,000 pounds. I go, no, I won't be okay hauling that much weight. Is there anything we can do about it?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, we're just drop one off." And when they drop one off, you're losing 2,000 pounds right off the board there. A little bit over, actually. We have all that weight. It is soybean seed. It is coming out of Stonington, Illinois, and it is en route for Omaha, Nebraska. Omaha, Nebraska is 450 miles from right where we sit right here, and we're doing okay. The snow we ran into this afternoon here, that one was unpredicted. I had no clue it was supposed to snow running across Illinois. It did though. The snow that I was going to tell you guys about when I picked the camera up was we're supposed to find a lot of ice and a lot of snow when we get either to Omaha or when we start proceeding north after we get unloaded. I'm not sure if we're actually going to see it, so I'm not going to make a big deal out of it by no means, but I wanted to make sure the truck was in tip-top shape before we did any of it. And that's stuff you should do every morning, but where we were parked last night wasn't a good place, so I figured when we get here I'd do it. And that oil leak that we found, God, what was it last week? That oil leak, it really isn't leaking much. I just added just a little bit of oil out of that. I buy my oil in 2.5 gallon jugs. I just added a little bit of oil out of that, and that topped it off. And we were about a gallon low on antifreeze, topped that off. Put the new windshield wiper on. Did not put the other one on, I just put one on. Figured I'd try it out. And then we'll probably throw the other one on if this one works out good in the ice. It's fancy. I've never had something like that nice on the truck for windshield wipers. I usually buy the El Cheapos. What else? It's not warm enough to drain the air tanks. We're sitting right at, we're in the teens. So any moisture that would be in the air tanks is frozen up anyway. I think we've checked everything off the board to make sure we're ready if we do run into any crappy weather. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble at this point, so let's get underway. I know, I said I was done talking. You just watched me talk for 3 minutes. I found some paperwork in there. Kevin. Those wipers came from Kevin. Thank you very much, Kevin. I do appreciate them. Before I cut you off, I promise. Almost done talking. The towns on this highway in Illinois are making it to where I really have to, the 12-year-old inside of me really has to struggle to stay an adult. We went through a town called Booty. Shake your booty, shake your booty. Yeet. Not laughing? Okay. And then we're in a town called Stonington. A bunch of stoners probably live here. I know, 12 years old. You guys don't know how much of a struggle it is for me to adult every day. Yes, I'm bundled up like it's an Eskimo out in my sweatshirt. It's about all I usually wear. Anyway, we are just west of Macon, Missouri right now on Highway 36. We're at a lovely Love's. I'm going to splash on some fuel because, well, I don't want it to be cold and have low fuel levels. And right now it is 0. Back home it is 1. -1. 0 here. -1, which makes for 3 days now that we have not gotten out of the single digits for temperatures. I'd be okay if it warm up just a little, you know, just a little. You know, even with all this cold weather we're getting, I'm still averaging 5.5 miles a gallon, so that's about 0.5 under what I usually get. First class with that kitty cat under the hood usually gets about 6 to 6.2 miles per gallon. But when it's this cold, I idle it up to 900, and that drinks it a little quicker versus just setting it at 800. Usually doesn't use too much. Before you say it, even if I had all that fancy stuff, the truck would be idling in temperatures like this. I forgot the one thing I went in there for. I need batteries for my thermometers, and I completely forgot about them. How sweet would it be if I could keep that 71 and 72? 71 is on the dash, so I mean you're getting the heat from behind the dash, so it's close enough though. The 72 right there is the outside one, which I always put right there in the middle of the sleeper. It'd be awesome if those were like 100% accurate and the whole house was at 72 and 72. But it is like an old house that has warm spots, but then really cold spots. I will say though, if you caught that last video where I did my door, I've been traveling with the door covered most of the way, but I was getting plenty warm. I'm not going to have it covered now because that wind is out of the northeast, and we're heading west. But the insulation this year has made a big difference. Insulating that, covering up that wood floor was a night and day difference. Now I just need to pull the fridge out and pull the cupboards out and insulate behind there, because for some reason, man, that wind just comes straight through that wall. That fridge, yeah, I bet it hasn't ran for 3 days now, because it's just, there's so much cold air coming in from behind it. Yeah, it's dropping down to 70 now. I figured it was because I was messing with it. it'll probably be down. I mean, like if I was to check the floor would be probably 45, 48 degrees. And where I have it mounted there, say a prayer or put a truck driver in your thoughts. There was an ambulance over here and it picked up a truck driver and they just left. How much would that suck? Need an ambulance, be in a truck? Who knows where your family's at? That would suck. Well, that's one of the most beautiful trucks I've seen today. I couldn't get any better footage than the mirror. We're just pulled over here for a quick little potty break, potty break. We're only about 45 minutes from Omaha, Nebraska. We're just off of Interstate 29 here in Iowa. I say one of the most beautiful trucks I've seen today. We have a subscriber, and I actually talked to him on the radio. This is just our old Cobra. If you missed that last episode, we're running the Cobra right now because my Striker is in Walcott at the radio shop, getting all cleaned up, tuned, and repaired. He had, the subscriber, had probably one of the prettiest green Peterbilts pulling a cattle wagon. That was... You've seen green. I mean, you've seen green, but that green was like a really, really deep, dark green. I don't know. It was beautiful. I loved the color of that truck, and it was all decked out, shined up. I'm kind of curious when he watches these videos with me in here talking about the W9. He's probably thinking, there's something wrong with that boy. There really is something wrong with that boy. I will admit, there is something wrong with me. The good part is it has warmed up. It is now 11 degrees. I will take 11 over negative 14 or 0 or 2, or I will take 11. It actually feels a little bit warmer. The wind is there, but the wind is out of the northeast, I think. It's supposed to be blowing in a storm. I think we talked about it yesterday. It's supposed to be blowing in a storm. I got a text over the phone that advised me that afternoon school activities are canceled, and they postponed a couple games for tomorrow. So I don't know what to tell you. It's bright and sunny now. Things could change, I guess. They really could. Oh, got to address one thing. Earlier, last night, you seen me walking out of Love's with 2 chili cheese hot dogs. I didn't eat them. I ate half of one, and I remembered why I don't get those. It was, compare it to like if it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, you wake up to go pee because you get up every 2 hours to go pee anymore. And you're like, oh, look, there's a cake sitting there on the countertop. I think I'm going to eat said cake. You eat more cake than what you first intended to do. And then when you wake up the next morning, you're like, whoa, I don't feel so hot. Similar case. It was the middle of the night. Walked in, I looked over at the hot dogs, and I go, well, it's been a while. Let's go ahead and try one. Well, then they tell you it's like $2.99 for one, or if you buy 2, you get a deal, apparently. So I bought 2. I ate half of one, threw the others away. Yeah. Those late night things. You guys know how it is. Paperwork in hand, and we are unloaded. That whole building right there is full of seed. It's kind of weird how it comes to a city before it goes to a farm. Storage, basically. Is it going to shut any easier this time? It may. I mean, once you take a hammer to some things, it changes their mind. It makes them realize, oh, I better be good. Oh, you're fighting back. That's classy, my friend. Classy. Alright, let's pointer north. Get out of town before the rush hour starts here in Omaha. It does get pretty nasty here in Omaha. My very first Cybertruck experience. I think I seen one once in Colorado last summer, but it was from a distance. That one was right beside us. That's done did the ugliest thing I ever done did see. Yeah, it was. They are. That was ugly. Can you smell it? I can smell it. I'm hungry for me some China. So that's what we're gonna have, is a little bit of China. I got me some Chinese, I got me some Chinese, I got me some Chinese, so let's go eat it now. Yeah, if you're wondering, I came up with that all by my lonesome while I was sitting there waiting for my Chinese. of you that aren't from the salt belt, that's a salt truck. And those lines you see running up and down the highway, that is acid, liquid acid. No, sorry, that is salt, liquid salt. Now in a situation of an ice storm, that stuff works pretty nice. But when they put it all down that heavy like he was back there, in a snowstorm, it turns the road to ice. Because it just melts it, and it snows on top of it, and then you drive on it, it gets ugly. So I'm not a big fan of the liquid stuff. The spread salt, I'm alright. Personally, I'd love to go back to the salt sand blend. It was more sand with just a little bit of salt in it. That'd be kind of cool too. Come on, come here. That's the fastest pace you have right now, isn't it? Opie, come here. He won't take your ball, I promise. Come here. How have you been? Opie! Dude! I want to talk with you. Opie. Opie. He's a bigger dork than I am. I just want to put that out there. Just to let you guys know. Yeah. A little fart box right there. Bigger dork than me. Alright, well, unfortunately you guys are not going to see an epic trucking through the snow and through the ice because we made it home unscathed. Not an ounce of snow, not an ounce of ice. Yesterday we ran into a little bit of snow, but it was just a dusting, nothing really to worry about. As for our snow and ice event that's supposed to happen today and tomorrow, they've taken the snow away and it's supposed to be just a small amount of ice. Well, any amount of ice isn't good, but I'm betting we won't see anything. It's one of those kind of things going on right now. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and yesterday's video all into one. If you did, please throw a like down there, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe. You guys stay safe, and as always, I'll see you next time. So just so I know we're clear, now you will talk to me? Dad, we're inside. I have nothing better to do than to talk to you. Oh, that's brutal, dude. You know I love you. I love you too. I do. I miss you in the truck. Yeah, it's pretty nice here though too. Pretty comfy. I don't have to bounce and bang. I don't have to get out in the cold. Oh, you're so right. Yes, you are. You're right.